No DQ Galaxy. We are live with predictions for the 2024 WWE Summerslam Premium Live event coming to us from Cleveland, Ohio. The Miz will be the special guest host, Cleveland's own Miz. He'll be running the festivities. We have 7 matches right now confirmed. They could always add an 8th match. Would not surprise me. But we will be talking about the 7 matches that have been officially confirmed for SummerSlam. We have a full panel tonight. Thank you to everybody for being on tonight. And thank you to everyone out there watching this. Feel free to leave your comments as we go match by match. Leave your predictions. I'll put some of them up on the screen. Now, I want to turn it over first to Matthew. Matthew, always a pleasure to have you on. How's it going, man? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for SummerSlam?
Honored to be here. Honestly, I'm a 9 out of 10, mostly for one match in particular. Of course, CM Punk versus Drew. But I'm excited because if predictions go the way I think a lot of people are thinking, we could see 4 title changes this weekend, which I think is the most WWE's had in a long time. So I'm excited and curious how things are going to play out. But yeah, I'm very excited for tonight.
I'm looking forward to this live stream tonight's going to be great. And then, of course, Saturday is SummerSlam. I think we might have 7 tonight. I heard a dog barking, so might have an extra contributor tonight. Dwayne, I'm going to throw it over to you now. Thank you for being on, as always. It's a pleasure. How are you feeling about this show, which is arguably the 2nd, maybe 3rd biggest WWE pay-per-view of the year after WrestleMania? So what are your thoughts on the biggest party of the summer?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think some of these matches were underbuilt, and some of them, I believe, are overbuilt. But, it's one of the top 4 pay-per-views of the year, so I'm excited. They're going to deliver. I'm glad they had Miz chosen as the host, but I'm kind of bummed out that Johnny Gargano's not going to be part of it in some small way either. So, but, he has a title match Friday night, so you never know. He could still be on the show some sort of way, but 1 out of 10, I'm going to go with an 8 as far as I'm looking forward to it.
All right. As always, it's always an honor to have Big Baller G with us on the No DQ review. He is Mr. Reliable. Big G, how's it going? How you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for SummerSlam. I got my WWE Prime ready for Saturday. I got my C4 WWE Prime ready for Saturday. I am pumped for SummerSlam. I want to say an 8 out of 10 too. I mean, most of the matches I think will be pretty decent. We always say it's like a lackluster card, but they always deliver on their shows. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Shout out to Josh Mansfield, who is a Cleveland resident. Hope you're doing well, Josh. And now we'll throw it over to an occasional contributor all the way overseas in the United Kingdom. We have Greg with us tonight. Greg, we got a few people tuning in from your area. How's it going? I know it's very late where you're at. How you feeling about SummerSlam?
Yes, hello guys. Glad to be back. Thank you for having me, Aaron. I think it's been a year now. I think my first predictions was SummerSlam last year. So I've survived the full year. I don't know how, but there you go. I'm glad to bring some of the British or London people to the chat. And no, I'm not related to Nick. It's just because Virtue calls me Nick Aldis because he thinks it's hilarious because I sound like him. So I just thought I'd go along with it just to keep him happy, But yeah, looking forward to SummerSlam. I'm more happy that the matches are kind of unpredictable, and you're just sort of intrigued to what's going to happen at the end of some of these because there could be some big turns, big returns, and big changes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it and give it a solid 9 because you just never know what's going to happen in a big stadium as well. Should be a great atmosphere.
Glad to have you on, Greg. And last but not least, Mr. Sometimes Reliable, at least on the predictions. He has a pretty good track record. No DQ review, not so much, but Virtue keeps giving him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. TJS is with us tonight. TJS, how are you feeling? You've seen quite a few SummerSlams. You're maybe the youngest panelist here, but you have seen your fair share of SummerSlams. How does this one measure up to some of the other ones you've seen over the years?
Yeah, well, Aaron, it's like I told you, I would never pull out of a predictions video. This maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but this card looks okay. But the fact that we could be getting a big return in the main event, and the fact that this is CM Punk's first televised PLE match in a long time, I'm going 10 out of 10 anticipation on this.
What?
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what happens. So we'll talk about it, but I'm going 10 out of 10. And, it's funny. You guys talked about how Gargano's not on the card. That neither tag title has been on a PLE card since WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure. So,
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. But 10 out of 10 for me, strictly for CM Punk's match and that big main event return that I'm thinking is going to happen.
Matthew, you want to add something?
No, I was just hinting at the return.
Yep.
Hinting at the return. There you go. I will go with an 8. The only thing that I'm not really liking about this card is that I feel like there's too many singles matches. I think every match is a singles match. I would have liked a little bit more variety, maybe a tag match. Johnny Gargano defending the titles at SummerSlam would have been a nice touch. Maybe a triple threat or a 4-way. Like every match is a singles match. I would have preferred a little bit of variety.
Put the Wyatt 6 match on this instead of Raw. Come on.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, you could technically add it and make it 8, but it looks like they're doing the DIY match on SmackDown. I guess it's a consolation prize for Johnny Gargano. He gets to wrestle in Cleveland, but not at the stadium. Oh, well. And, the women's tag team titles, who cares about those, right? So why even bother with that? They could have added 1 or 2 more matches. I don't think people would have complained too much as long as you don't end up going to midnight. You could have done 8 or 9. I'm shocked that they're only doing 7, but that's the new Triple H era. Obviously, with the 2-night SummerSlams coming up in the near future, it'll change and more people will get on the card. They could have done Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable. There's a few matches they could have added to boost up the card a little bit, but it's a solid card. I give it an 8. We may have the surprise return. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's get to the predictions. We're going to start off with the WWE Women's Championship match. We got Bayley defending her championship against Nia Jax. And I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but that doesn't even look all that much like Nia Jax in that picture.
I thought that was Bianca Belair for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like some of these guys, like men and women, they put on these photoshopped effects on them. It's an interesting picture for sure. So
Bayley's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, the WWE they like to do their Photoshop work with the wrestlers on the posters. But anyways, Bayley versus Nia Jax. When this match was first announced, I thought it was a given that Bayley would retain. But now I'm actually not so sure on this one. So I'm curious to get everyone's takes on this. Big G, we'll start with you because we know sometimes you like to just agree with everybody. So we like to put you in the hot seat. Go ahead and give us your thoughts.
I mean, this should be a decent match. I believe this is Nia's first title shot since she's came back from her return. And we all know how her other title run went when she was there in the first run. And Bayley's had the title since Mania. I don't want to say it's been lackluster. It's just I don't know. I'm just not feeling Bayley's title run right now. But I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm gonna stick with Bayley to retain, though.
Bayley
And
to retain.
are we doing a bonus point if we're gonna see Tiffany Stratton cash in?
Cash in. Yes, it actually has to be a cash in, not a tease. It has to be officially cashed in. So yes, do you think she will cash in?
SummerSlam. I do. You know what? I'm gonna go with the cash in at SummerSlam.
You think so? So you think Tiffany? She doesn't have to win. Just
I think Tiffany's gonna cash in.
See, they did that last year with Io Sky, so I'm not really a fan. Since Drew McIntyre cashed in immediately, there's no men's contract. I think they need to wait a little bit. I personally think it's way too soon, but Big G's going with it. He could always change his mind. He very well may. TJS, we'll throw it over for you now.
Yeah, I hate to do this because I love Bayley with all of my heart, but unfortunately, I think she's losing. I think that Nia's winning the title. Nia won Queen of the Ring, and I think they're really looking to keep her momentum going. And, I don't know if this really counts, but you know how the Money in the Bank has had so many failed cash-ins, and that affects the percentage? Well, under this regime, Triple H could say, 100% of the King of the Ring winners have gone on and won the title. So I don't think that they're looking to get those statistics affected. So I think Nia wins. I think she wins the title. And I think Tiffany does not cash in, but instead they play up on this angle where Tiffany and Nia are friends, and they can just kind of keep that going for a little bit. And then eventually Tiffany will cash in. But they're going to let it play out a little bit longer before they do that. Probably not until next year before Tiffany cashes in.
I hope so. I really hope that's the case. We have a couple of super chats here from Michael. First of all, he said the pre-show is now 3 hours and no matches. Yeah, that's interesting. Matthew, you said you think they're doing it to screw with Collision. Collision's going to be on at 5 Eastern, right?
That's at least what Meltzer has put. That's the reason he said that they're doing it is because now if you go online, it says that SummerSlam starts at 4:00. So of course he's saying, they're doing it to punish Collision because Collision moved to 5:00 so that it wouldn't compete against. But I don't know the real reason. It could just because they're trying to get attention away from the Olympics as well. I do hope that if they are doing a 3-hour pre-show, we are getting some sort of match or something. But I don't know. That's just, what I've heard and, what the internet's saying, which you can only believe so much about anyways.
Now, Matthew, we'll get to you in just a second with your actual pick. Maybe you have some thoughts on this. Michael sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you. Michael says, I'm booking a Charlotte Flair return with Nia Jax winning. And that's a reason why I'm not so sure, because Charlotte is due back very soon.
Yeah, she's been training.
And, I expect her to come back as a babyface. So that makes me think maybe Nia Jax is winning. And there was this one of the Twitter accounts that posts news items put something out that Nia Jax is expected to be rewarded for her work since coming back to WWE, and it felt like a tease that maybe she's winning the title. So I felt like that was perhaps a clue that we're going to see a championship change here, and then with Charlotte coming back, Charlotte can feud with Nia. So I'm actually going to go with the title change and say Nia Jax beats Bayley. Matthew, we'll go over to you now with your thoughts.
I'm in agreement. Nia's going to win. They're going to tease the Tiffany cash in, but I don't think it's going to happen because, one, Bayley's just destroyed her briefcase, so we haven't seen the all pink briefcase that they're probably going to introduce I would think if they're not introducing it this Friday, they're probably going to do it soon. But yeah, I think we're going to get some weird sort of dynamic that Nia's the champion and Tiffany's her lackey, but they're going to constantly kind of bicker and she's going to tease for a while. But I don't see Tiffany probably cashing in till probably Mania. But I do feel bad for Bayley because her run has not been good. Io didn't have a great run either, but at least they had a great match to, end that feud. But Bayley really hasn't done anything for the championship. But yeah, I see Nia being one of 4 new champions this weekend.
Well, that's a little bit of a tease for your predictions later. All right, well, Big G's laughing at something. TJS, you're usually the one with the giggles on these streams.
No. Before you go to the new pick, you guys convinced me. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going with Nia Jax and no cash in. All right. What you guys said was some really good points. So.
All right, there you have it. All right, Greg, we'll throw it over to you now. You've gotten a chance to hear us out. By the way, I'm going to say no cash in also. Nia wins, no cash in. Maybe Charlotte returns, maybe not. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, but because of Bayley's run not being the best, and I think they've got to have a reason of why they gave Jax the King of the Ring win and already put her in this position months ago, then they must have plans for her to win it. So and they've probably monitored to see how Bayley's run's gone in the last few months. So I think we're gonna see a title change. It's gonna be Jax. Maybe even Stratton might help her and sort of be like, "Oh look, I helped you. I've scratched your back. You can scratch mine." And she'll constantly maybe tease the cash-ins and stuff. Like I would have said the cash-in there and then. Like I would have said Jax would have won and then she turns on her. But because of the whole update in the briefcase, and I think they can tease that for a month or two because they've already had the men's cash-in. So let's keep the women's briefcase around for a bit. And also, I don't know. They don't want to. I don't think they should have too many title changes just yet. And I'm not too happy about the Charlotte return because whenever Charlotte comes back, she just gets the belt or into a title match and has to face no consequences. So I'm going to go for a Jax win, and I guess they'll start the tease between her and Tiffany. But I hope Tiffany wins it eventually, and I guess when she does and maybe turns on her, she'll suddenly turn into a bit of a face. Maybe I don't know, but she's popular at the minute, so it'll be good for her to chase Jax and the big turn. But Jax to win.
There you have it. Josh Mansfield, who's going to be there in Cleveland, thinks that Tiffy will cash in after Bayley retains. So we only have Dwayne left. Dwayne, do you agree with Josh, or do you think we're going to have a new champion?
I partly agree with some of y'all, but I don't think Nia Jax is winning. In fact, if I was speaking for Tiffany Stratton, I would say Nia Jax would be the last one I'd want to face with a title on the line, because what are you going to deal with someone the size of Tiffany's and going to deal with the size of Nia Jax? I would want to face Bayley instead. I could probably have a better chance of winning it, but I think she's going to accidentally possibly try to hit Bayley with the thing and miss and hit Nia Jax and then give her Bayley the win by accident. But eventually Tiffany's going to cash in, but I think what they're going to wait and do is have Charlotte Flair come back and face Tiffany Stratton, because that would have been the dream match everybody's talking about today, I believe. So I'm going with the Bayley win with no cash in.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, guys. And now we'll move on to our next match. Chat room, get ready to leave your thoughts, and we'll put some of the comments on the screen. We have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Sami Zayn defending for the second premium live event in a row against Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker came up short at Money in the Bank. This is his second opportunity at Sami Zayn. Will he win it this time? I will be surprised if any of us have a different opinion. I think it's pretty clear Bron Breakker is winning. He lost at Money in the Bank, so he could win here on the bigger stage in front of the 50,000 plus fans. But I'm curious if anybody has a different thought process. I'm going with Bron to win it. Big G, you raised your hand, so let's hear it. Let's hear what you have to say.
First, I'm not really mad or upset. I'm just disappointed. They could have made this a triple threat with Ilya in it. That way, Braun could have pinned Ilya. That way, they could have protected Sami. But you're right. I predicted wrong at Money in the Bank. I had predicted Braun was going to win. So I'm going to go with everybody. I'm sure everybody's going to pick it Braun this time to win. So I'm going to go with Braun Breaker to win too.
All right, Dwayne, you're next. Go ahead.
All right, I was wrong with Money in the Bank, but I'm going to make the same prediction I made. Bron Breaker's winning it, and he's going to squash Sami Zayn. I predict possibly a short match. Again, 5 minutes tops.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this one will be a quickie, but I feel like they need to have like an 8th match or something, and then you could do a short Sami Zayn Bron Breakker match. Matthew, what do you think about this one? So far, it seems like everybody's on the same page. Any different opinion?
No, I mean, like everybody else, I predicted Braun was going to win at Money in the Bank. They didn't do it. They kind of made up the story that, Braun got too cocky, which is why he lost. But, yeah, this will be title change number 2, and we will see a new Intercontinental Champion, Bron Breakker. Bring back
Andrew
the music.
I wish so. Andrew has an idea like we could do a bonus point if Bron Breakker wins under or over 5 minutes. Let Braun squash Sami. I like the idea. I don't think WWE is going to do it, but you know what? We'll throw that in. We'll spice things up a little bit for the prediction. So Noah Foster, we're going to do this one as well. Does the match go over or under 5 minutes? I'm going to say it goes over. It's the Triple H era. They're all about giving these guys time. I'd love a squash match, though. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to say no. Matthew, no.
No, I think it's going to go over 5 minutes. Like you said, I'd like a squash match, but I think they want to really showcase Braun in front of 40,000 people, 50,000 people, whatever's out there. So yeah. It's gonna go probably 10 minutes at least, maybe longer. But yeah, it's not going to be a squash match.
Dwayne, over under.
I might have got a little bold when I said 5 minutes. I should have said about more like 7 or 8. But I don't know why. I'm kind of predicting probably Braun's going to attack Sami behind the scenes before the match even starts and hurt him before the show even starts. If that's the case, and chances are we probably are going to get another squash match. But 5 minutes, I may have over-exaggerated on that one. So, yes, I'm going to go over on that one.
Over. Big G, over or under?
I'm going to go over 5.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going with a squash. All right. Greg, we'll throw it over to you now, and then we'll get TJS. Greg, any different opinions? Are you sticking with what everyone else is saying?
Yeah, I've got Bron winning. I think he's winning in over 5 minutes, though. Like, I don't think it's fair, like, considering Sami ended, like, the longest reign ever of the IC title with Gunther at WrestleMania, that they're going to have, like, Breakker beat him in, like, less than 5 minutes. It's kind of, like, defeats the object of Sami winning, completely kills Sami. And I know it makes Bron Breakker look pretty good, but also maybe too good. Then you're sort of thinking, well, why didn't he challenge for the world title? That's what Gunther's doing now. Oh, no way, he's a King Ring winner. Then you start thinking too much. So it's like they will have a solid match, like Money in the Bank. Zayn will do his same stuff. He might like miss a haluva or do it, and Breakker will kick out this time, or maybe just, as I don't know, someone just said he'll get attacked before the match. Maybe even Breakker comes out and spears him before the match, and then he's in control most of the match. But no, I think Breakker will win, but it will be maybe a good 15-minute slog where he breaks him down and makes sure he does something different from the mistakes he made in Money in the Bank. So we get a new IC champion and let the reign of Breakker begin.
All right. Mr. Anderson sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, Bron Breakker wins, leaving Sami Zayn to do his comedy tour. Well, Sami Zayn could also go for the tag team titles, but yeah, that frees him up to do more stuff outside of the ring if that's something he wants to do. Maybe him and Jay challenge for the titles. That was already teased. TJS, we'll wrap it up with you, and then we'll move on to the next match.
Okay. Well, I don't even know why we're doing the bonus point for all, just going with the over 5 minutes. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take a free point. Yeah, I mean, I think. Oh God. Oh wait, we got a. What's a cat? Oh, 2. Wow, 2 cats. Okay. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes.
Cat invasion.
Yes, I'm allergic to cats, by the way. So,
Aw.
yeah, I might sneeze soon.
He's gonna get the sneezies to the
Yeah.
computer.
He's gonna giggle and sneeze.
Yeah. So, I don't know why they even booked the match at Money in the Bank if Bron was just going to lose. Dr. Bins or something in the chat mentioned that. I agree. Don't know why Bron took a clean L, but I think he's picking up a clean W here. So, I'm still annoyed that Chad Gable had 5 matches and lost every single one of them, and Breaker can win on his second one, but okay, I guess. The only thing that I'm interested in is we just had a really long reign with Gunther, so I'm interested to see if Bron is going to have another long reign. I'm okay with some short title reigns, by the way, so guess we'll see. But yeah, Bron picks up the win over a very game Sami Zayn.
All right, there you have it. And now we got another championship match. I think I know who Matthew's going with based off of his 4 titles changing hands. We got Logan Paul versus everybody's favorite, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. This is Logan Paul's neck of the woods, Cleveland, Ohio, but I suspect he will be booed by his hometown fans. LA Knight is going to be the sentimental favorite. Now, this is one of those matches where people are wondering, like, should either guy really be losing at this stage of the game? Logan Paul, he's being a representative for WWE as the United States champion. He got Donald Trump to pose with the United States title. He goes everywhere with the title. He brings publicity for WWE, but a lot of fans talking about how LA Knight is overdue to win a championship. And the fact that WWE has scripted it to really hammer the point home that LA Knight has not won a singles title. And Logan Paul is like, what have you accomplished in WWE? So what happens if LA Knight loses again? Where does he go from here? Logan Paul, I will say this. I thought Logan Paul was going to defend the title more than he did. I thought that he was going to be a regular, defending it at every pay-per-view. Didn't seem to happen. So, yeah, I would almost be fine with him dropping it at this point just because he hasn't been defending it all that much. And, you know, do we really need multiple part-time champions? We've had enough of that over the past several years. So, Dwayne, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on this match?
I'm sorry, this is too easy for me. LA Knight's winning, man. I was never big on Logan Paul, never have been. Didn't like him before he turned WWE. I don't like him now. I could care less where he's from, but 2 title defenses in 7 months, man, is ridiculous. Even for Triple H to book something like that, but no. LA Knight's winning. It probably ain't gonna be a decisive win, but it's gonna be. He's walking out that title, I think.
All right, TJS, we'll throw it over to you now.
Okay, well, first, I just wanted to go back to the other match, and I'm changing my pick. I think Sami retains. So, now, yeah, okay. There's too many new champions, Aaron. One of them has to retain. I'm saying Sami retains. Now, on to this match. When did Logan win the U.S. title? Was it Rumble or
Crown Jewel?
Crown Jewel against Mysterio last year.
Oh, so he's had it for a while then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
over
is his-
200 plus
7
days.
months, I think, is when it was.
And this is his like 3rd defense, right? So okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I forgot about that Dean Ambrose reign. That was also really bad. Yeah, I mean, I think LA Knight has to win because I mean we've been hearing it for a long time. You know, LA Knight. Oh, just let's give it a little bit. He'll get his time. He'll get his push. He got a push, and then he lost to Roman Reigns and cooled off a little bit. So they have to. If LA Knight does not win this, he might be done. It's critical that he wins. So I think he will. And then I think Logan will go in a different direction. Logan doesn't need the title, and I don't think that a loss will hurt Logan because he's Logan Paul. So LA Knight wins. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, TJS. Greg, we'll throw it over to you now.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. I like Logan, considering I didn't know much about him before he came in. I heard about him and all the controversy it caused, but he's come into the WWE and he's done all right. Like he's in cracking shape and he's kept up with a lot of the different athletes in the ring. So I'm not I'm not mad at the screen that he's on my screen or anything. He does some good heel heat. But he was very on the line with LA Knight and SmackDown the other week, where he was being, very aggressive with what he was saying, and I was a bit like, "Whoa, like, where's this coming from?" But then I just realized LA Knight's been chasing this title for like a year now, like a whole year, and it's crazy that he's still chasing this same belt and hasn't even got close to it. So I know he's mixed with the main title a bit, but. So he has to be winning. LA Knight has to be winning this. If not, I don't know where we go with him. We might lose a lot of the, the fans cheering for him quite a bit. So, and Logan, the title reign hasn't been that good. So he can start another feud here or there, or even chase the belt again. I don't know, but I think if LA Knight goes on to win, he can start defending it against some of the heroes on SmackDown, like your Legado and stuff like that. So I'm going to go for LA Knight win, and hopefully a clean win. No Logan interference. Otherwise, it'll just I don't know. He probably will. He's in Cleveland. Of course he will. So
I show speed and all those goofballs that he hangs out with. Maybe Jake Paul interferes. I'm going to say this. I will go with LA Knight, but I'm not that confident. Like if Logan Paul somehow retains and they stretch it out one more pay-per-view, I would not be shocked at all. And I think people would be pissed, but I'm not ruling out a Logan Paul retention. Matthew, what are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, Logan Paul LA Knight wins. Almost fumbled there. I mean, Logan, while he has only done 2 matches, which isn't good, he has gotten a lot of attention on the U.S. title. He brings it everywhere. He always shows it. I may not agree with him, and him and Trump with the title, showing the title off, but, he's gotten a lot of eyes on it, and it's given him a lot of heat that makes LA Knight a bigger babyface when he beats him. But yeah, like everybody else says, I don't know if LA Knight doesn't win, I don't know what more we can do with LA Knight at this point. So yeah, LA Knight wins. New champion. Yeah.
TJS, would you care to share with the classroom what you think is so funny?
Do you hear that? There's like a crow.
A crow? That's what's so funny?
Because you made a face. I heard the noise, and I thought you heard the noise, so you made a face, and I laughed at your reaction. Nobody else hears that? Am I crazy?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I hear it. Is that in your background, TJS, or is that Aaron?
No, it's not mine.
It must be mine, and I have no control over the crows. So,
hey, the White Six might be coming after you there, Aaron. Watch out.
Sting is nearby. But, Big G, we'll wrap it up with you. I know you like to agree with us on a lot of things, so this will be an opportunity to quickly give your thoughts, and then we'll move on. Unless you got a crazy-ass opinion.
No, I'm going to go with LA Knight. I have nothing against Logan Paul being in the ring. He's definitely proven to me that he can go in the ring. But outside of the ring, he's a total jackass. He can get the F out of my face. But I'm going to go with LA Knight to win here. If not, because the fans still cheer for LA Knight. He gets that big pop still when he comes out. So I feel like he needs to definitely get this win.
Thank you for that, Big G. We'll move on to the next match. We'll see if the crow wants to keep interrupting the video. We're all going to eat crow if Logan Paul retains the championship.
I'm still eating crow. So
there you go. All right, guys, we got some world title matches to discuss. Let's do it. Let's go. We got Damian Priest, the Street Trash, defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the King General, Gunther. And we do have Bash at Berlin coming up. A lot of people expect Gunther to be defending the championship, but could he potentially lose and get a rematch? I do not think Gunther's losing. Like, Gunther is almost at Roman Reigns level of you don't want to bet against the guy. You don't want to bet against John Cena. You don't want to bet against Roman Reigns, and you don't want to bet against Gunther. Gunther's coming off a loss at WrestleMania to Sami Zayn. This is his big moment. Damian Priest, quite frankly, I think has held the title longer than I expected him to hold it. I figured he would be a transitional champion. Now, Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, says, could Gunther squash Priest? I don't think there's going to be any squashes. I think this will be a competitive match. Hopefully, Priest doesn't get hurt in this one or get knocked out and miss the pinfall, not kick out. Hopefully, there's no issues this time. I am going with a new champion, though. Could something happen with Judgment Day, Finn Balor, some kind of drama with Judgment Day? But I think Gunther is winning the championship, and Priest might be out of Judgment Day. He might get kicked out. We're going to have to wait and see. But I feel like the dominoes are going to start to fall with Judgment Day, and it will start with a new champion being crowned. So, Big G, we'll throw it right over to you. Your thoughts?
yeah, this should be a fun match. It should be hard-hitting. Both heavyweights. Damian Priest, I feel his run has been decent so far. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Gunther to win the world title on Saturday. He won King of the Ring. Like you said, his only loss since he's been on the main roster was against Sami Zayn, and he lost the IC title. So I feel like he's going to win the world title. And he should have, hopefully, I don't want to say he'll have a long, lengthy reign with the world title, but he'll have a decent run with it.
I expect him to have a very lengthy run. And Michael sent in a $2 super chat, says Gunther loses and wins the title in Berlin, which is what some people are considering for this, that maybe Gunther somehow gets screwed and becomes a big baby face for Berlin. I mean, you can't rule it out, but I would be shocked to see Gunther take an L here. Greg, we'll throw it over to you now. What are your thoughts?
Again, I don't think this is going to be a squash. I still think it'll be a good match. Gunther can get pretty much good matches out of anyone. He's so good in the ring. You do have to remember Gunther's he's only lost one match. Obviously the crazy WrestleMania match to Sami in about nearly 2 years. So even if he doesn't even win somehow at the weekend, it's going to be like a DQ situation where Balor jumps in and costs does something stupid. Maybe even hits Priest just to cost him the title. But then it's like, come on, Priest, I hope you retain. You were never beating him, and then maybe they could start some sort of dissension. But for me, I'm going with a Gunther win. It's just, as much as I think it would be great for him to maybe have still chasing the belt come Berlin, I think they maybe want him to be, have the belt, be in Berlin doing all the media with the title, walking into the arena with the belt. He's the champion. Not too sure who he will defend against. Then they might go back. They could go back to a Sami route. They could go back to Sami, and then it could be the big tease of Sami could be I beat you. I'm the only one to beat you. I'm going to beat you in Berlin now, sort of thing. So, Gunther's going to win. It should be a good match. Obviously, hopefully he chops the hell out of Priest, and then that's the end of Priest as the champion, because his Jinder Mahal run
Whoa! Ouch. Now, there's a couple other people to consider. Ludwig Kaiser hasn't been around. He could potentially interfere. And another guy who hasn't been around, Josh brought this up, Giovanni Vinci could potentially show up. If there was a scenario where maybe Gunther loses, perhaps Vinci costs him the title.
He got drafted to SmackDown, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's been gone that long that he got drafted.
In the supplemental draft after the fact.
Oh, poor guy. And he hasn't been seen since. Yep. Yeah, that sucks for Giovanni Vinci. But TJS, I mean, they could always change, right? They could always just have him show up and be part of Raw. Like, nobody cares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild card rule.
Wild card rule, or just a trade, whatever.
Yeah, who knows? I'm very interested in this match because at first I was very convinced that Priest was going to lose, but now I'm not so sure. I'm kind of with you, Aaron, when you said that the dominoes need to fall on the Judgment Day because this has been going on for a long time. So I just cannot. There is no scenario that I can see where Gunther takes a loss. I just can't see that happening. So I am going to say that he does win the title, and they end up. Look, I know Germany is not Austria, but they're going to do like a homecoming with
It's
Gunther.
next door to it, literally.
Yeah. So I think they're going to do like a little homecoming with him.
Yeah.
Pretty much marching in with the title, like you guys said. So yeah, he wins the title, and then Priest officially gets kicked out of Judgment Day.
All right, there you have it. Matthew, we'll go over to you now. And Kaiser's been hurt. Who knows when he'll be back? But there are some possible scenarios here. What do you think's going to happen?
I think Gunther wins. They built Priest up a lot better than I expected. Like a lot of people, I didn't think he was going to reign for this long, but they made him look strong, except for, the few mishaps in the last couple matches. But, yeah, I just don't see him being able to beat Gunther in a serious match. But Gunther will retain. I mean, Gunther will win. Of course, that's prediction 4 title changes for me. But I also think either this will lead to the breakup between him and Judgment Day, or we're going to end up getting probably Balor versus Priest for control of Judgment Day at Bash at Berlin, and that's probably going to lead to the final breakup going into Survivor Series. But yeah, we will have a new King General and World Champion, Gunther.
Ring General, King General. Now, Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. It says Gunther versus Seth in Berlin. Now, that all depends on what's going to happen with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. It might be a little too soon for that depending on what happens, but that is certainly a possibility as well for Bash in Berlin. Although you would think that they would put like a heel against Gunther in Berlin, since Berlin's going to be a massive babyface. Dwayne, what do you think is going to happen for SummerSlam?
Well, I walked in here having a pretty good idea, man, but every one of y'all has played some great cases on this match, so I just don't know. I'm going one way then another. My initial reaction was that Damian Priest was going to somehow walk out as champion, not necessarily saying he's going to take a pinfall or he's going to pin Gunther, and then have Gunther plead his case for one more match in hometown, stating that, hey, I promised to become home and a world champion of some sort. So I think I'm just going to take I'm going to go with my gut here saying Gunther's going to walk out as champion. Priest is probably going to walk on there telling them to stay out of his match. He don't want them there. He don't need them to win, yada, yada, yada. Somehow or another, they screwed Damian Priest. So that's my pick. But I like what Josh has to say as well, too.
All right. Thank you for that. And Matthew, I think that's a great choice, too. Gunther versus Dragunov at Bash in Berlin. That makes more sense depending on what I think is going to happen with Seth Rollins. And we'll get to that here in just a few moments. We got 3 more matches to go. We got the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. We got Liv Morgan trying to complete her revenge tour against Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley says she is looking for revenge on Liv Morgan. Now, all is well with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. They're back together. Happy ending here, or so we think. Now, I'm going with the prediction that Rhea Ripley is going to get betrayed by Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan will retain. Rhea Ripley is basically a babyface at this point, and this will finalize that turn. And you keep Dominic as a heel. No need for him to turn at this point. You want to build heat for this. Liv Morgan is on the roll of her career right now. After all these years, fans have been wanting Liv Morgan to get pushed. She never really got to that level, and now she is finally there. She's at the top of her game right now. She's got the most momentum she's ever had in WWE. There's no reason for her to drop the title right now. Rhea Ripley should 100% be on the chase. Keep this feud going for the next several months and build the drama. We need some drama and conflict. And, in a soap opera, you love the betrayals and the backstabbing. And the visual of Rhea Ripley crying in the ring as Dominic and Liv are kissing on the stage while Liv has the title. That's heat. You think of, people are comparing it to like when Trish Stratus turned against Chris Jericho and joined with Christian at WrestleMania 20. I see a very similar scenario. So my pick is Liv retains, Dominic turn. Greg, we'll go over to you on this one. Any thoughts on this? Any different opinion on it? Where do you see this going?
Yeah, for starters, I want to say, get out of my head, because that's you don't know what's in there. But I was thinking about the Christian and Jericho Trish Stratus thing at WrestleMania. So when I said that, I thought I don't like what he's doing. But yeah, it's looking like that, right? And it's like, especially after Monday, as soon as he went all loco to Liv, he probably did swear, I don't know, and literally made her cry and everything. I was like, that's it, that's the moment. Liv is retaining, he's turning on Rhea. I'm just intrigued of how they're going to do it. So I think he might accidentally cost Rhea outside, and then next thing you know, he's just going to be like, it's weird because in other feuds before where it's like been a male and female, like when you look at it, you think genuinely Rhea could beat the living crap out of Dom. So it's like weird. It's not like if Dom beat the hell out of Rhea, you'd be like, that doesn't make any sense at all. But I am going for Liv to retain by Dom accidentally, but then I think they'll do the whole turn, because just imagine the build up to Raw on Monday where, if Dom has walked out with Liv out of SummerSlam holding hands and they're looking forward to how Raw's going to happen. Because I think the whole Judgment Day is going to break apart. I saw someone put that, Rhea and Damian are going to leave the group and maybe form their own little group or something. I think that's a possibility after SummerSlam. So I don't know how they're going to do it in the other match. But in this match, he's going to turn on Rhea, and it's hopefully going to be a big reaction. The crowd's going to be a bit sort of stunned because of the way they were acting on Raw. So finally, we're going to have title retain. It's going to be Liv. But there's a lot more to unfold after the result.
Now, another possible scenario, Finn Balor. People are saying, what if the swerve here is that Finn Balor and Liv have been in cahoots all along, and Finn Balor is the one who causes all these issues with Judgment Day, and he pushes out Rhea Ripley, he pushes out Damian Priest, and kind of takes over the group. That's a scenario too. Big G, what are your thoughts on this one?
So I was really thinking that Rhea might regain the title, but like after what happened last week on Raw with, Dom saying, I'm done with you, Liv, and then yesterday, Liv burning all Dom's stuff, it could all just be a charade. And they're still, like you said, they're technically in cahoots. So I'm gonna go with Liv to retain here, and with Dominic's help, not by accident, but Dom he does it on purpose, purposely costs Rhea the title, and like you said, I'd be down for the whole Ed or Christian and Trish Stratus scenario after the match. So
All right. Thank you for that, Big D. Big G. Did I just say
Oh,
Big
D,
D?
wow,
Big Dollar. Big Dollar.
big that no.
You big baller, G. TJS, go ahead. Give us your thoughts on this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I agree with Big G, or Big D, rather. I agree that Dominic he's going to cost he's going to cost Rhea Ripley the title intentionally. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a ref bump or something, and then Dominic is going to act like he's going to slide the title to Rhea Ripley, but he ends up sliding it to Liv Morgan. And exactly what you said, Aaron. The match ends with Liv holding up the title, kissing the mustache of Dominic Mysterio,
Ew.
and Rhea Ripley in the ring, distraught. That's what's gonna happen. So,
Honestly, they should have done a special guest referee match for this match, not the Punk and McIntyre match.
yeah, I guess they just had to get Rollins on here somehow, and that's why they did it.
How did we not get Dominic custody match? Custody of Dominic. Missed opportunity.
Because wasn't the Eddie versus Ray match at SummerSlam?
SummerSlam, yep.
Yeah, they should have done it.
Almost 20-some years later.
I mean, Rhea Ripley's barely cleared to wrestle, so I mean, maybe that's why they didn't want to do a ladder match. But custody of Dominic, that would have been hilarious to do that. Almost 20 years after the Eddie match. But anyways, let's throw it over now to the real Big D, Dwayne Atkinson, with his thoughts. Go ahead, Dwayne. Not that I know, not that I have any information. Dwayne, go ahead.
Oh boy, here we go. You know what? I love Rhea Ripley. She's probably the hottest thing on Raw right now, in my opinion. Nothing can touch her. But
oh yeah, she can be my mom.
I really don't want to see Rhea Ripley get screwed over. I wish they'd do a scenario where Rhea's seen it coming all along and she's just going along with the storyline. But one of my biggest downfalls and predictions is the fact is I always listen to what the internet rumors are, listen to what other predictions call. I'm not going to go with it. I'm going to go with my gut and just say, hey, Dominic's going to screw Rhea Ripley. I think we're going to probably wind up. I will be surprised if we see Dom versus Ripley somewhere, either on Raw or possibly a pay-per-view. But I don't think it's over between her and Liv Morgan either. I wouldn't mind seeing it go as far as a Hell in a Cell match possibly. But, I don't know when they're having that next pay-per-view or if they even are. But, I'm just going with Liv Morgan's going to retain.
All right, there you go. Liv Morgan to retain. Matthew, we'll throw it over to you now. Get your thoughts on this.
Well, Dom and Rhea has been the greatest love story in wrestling since probably Miss Elizabeth and Randy or Savage. But unfortunately, unfortunately, it's coming to an end, and the heartbreak is going to be fire. Dom is either directly or indirectly going to cost Liv. I still think Balor's also going to be a huge factor. I mean, not Liv, Rhea. I'm getting my brain mixed up. But yeah, Dom is somehow going to cost Rhea. I think Balor's also going to be involved because I think he's the real mastermind behind all of this. But yeah, Liv is going to retain, and there's going to be heartbreak everywhere as, the Dom and Mommy are no more. I'm curious how far they'll take this. Like Dwayne said, could we see like Hell in the Cell at Bad Blood? Could we see a Dom and Liv wedding. You know, they
Live
haven't done
sex celebration.
who knows?
live on Netflix.
But yeah, Rhea doesn't need to have the title back yet. And yeah, I think rumor of Raquel coming back, have Raquel go heel and turn on and become Liv's bodyguard. That could be a great idea too. We could get Raquel and Rhea. But yeah, Liv is going to retain, and everybody is going to hate Dom even more than they already do. And it's going to be glorious.
Yeah, I can't see Dom going babyface. He's got too much momentum as a heel, so it's got to be him that turns. Like Finn Balor screwing over Dom. You know, I don't know if that'll work with Dom being such a hot heel right now, but we'll see what happens. Building Nexus sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Building Nexus. Says the best part is that Rhea created Dirty Dom, though Priest and Balor definitely aren't blameless here. Very true. You know, just like Frankenstein, he created the monster, and look what happened to him.
Yeah.
That would be poetic. Did I get everyone's thoughts?
Well, real quick, I just want to say it's crazy how seamless Dominic has fit in. Like he's like a natural, and he's so young. So I remember when he first started, everyone was like, "Oh, this kid has nothing," blah blah blah. As a babyface, anyway. But once he turned heel, I mean, it seemed you would not believe that this guy's only been doing it for a few years.
Yeah, I mean he has really grown a lot as a performer in a very short period of time, and looking forward to what happens here. This is my second most hyped up match of this entire show, even more so than the next match we're about to talk about. So I'm curious to get everyone's thoughts on this one. Actually, wrong match.
Okay.
I screwed up. To quote Noah Foster, botch.
Yeah.
Aaron,
I was gonna talk about this one next. I want to save CM Punk for the end because CM Punk is the ratings.
Yeah.
He's the guy that everyone wants to talk about. So we're going to do this one first. I'm not totally feeling this match. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. To me, I'm just waiting for the real tribal chief Roman Reigns to show up. Now, people were talking about the idea maybe Solo Sikoa wins the title. I don't see that happening. After everything Cody went through to lose to Solo Sikoa, come on now. I don't think that's going to happen. TJS, let's go to you on this one. Do you see any path to a Solo Sikoa victory? And I guess another bonus point here will be, does Roman Reigns officially return at this show? Yes or no? Go ahead.
Well, in regards to Solo winning the title, I have to say there's no chance in hell of that happening. I don't know. I'm not really buying Solo as a threat. I mean, I know that they took out Randy and Kevin Owens, but Solo has not won the matches. I said this a few months ago, or maybe a few weeks ago. They need to heat him up. He needs to win the matches, and he really hasn't. So, I don't know. I'm with you, Aaron. I'm not that excited about this match. I'm just more excited for the aftermath because Roman has to return. Like, doesn't he? Because if you don't do it here, then where do you do it? Like, what's the next stadium show? The next, or maybe Saudi if you count that. Roman had. But the thing is, I'm trying to picture how in my head. I'm trying to think about because if Cody wins and he's celebrating with the title, how do you get Roman to come out? I'm trying to figure that out. Trying to make it make sense in my head. Maybe Cody wins and then takes a powder, and then Solo is alone in the ring or something. I don't know, but yeah, Cody retains, and yeah, I mean we'd all expect this to close the show, right? Like we can agree.
Yeah. Now we do have the thing on Friday with the Bloodline going for the tag titles. Will that play a role in this, like them gathering the titles? Dwayne, I'll throw it over to you now. Go ahead with your thoughts.
You know what? I didn't even know that they was fighting this Friday for the tag titles. That kind of changes things just a hair. I don't think they're winning the tag team titles. Number one, they DIY just got them. They've been waiting a long time to put those belts on them. As far as the hype for Roman coming back, I think he will. I just don't think he's going to have anything to do with this match. If he comes back, we're going to get him at the very end where you're just going to walk in and have a stare down with the Solo. That's all it's going to be. I don't think he damn sure ain't going to attack him and take him out. If anything else, they built the bloodline to look strong so they can take Roman out first. So they've taken Cody out. They've taken Cody out. They've taken Randy Orton out. They put KO up to it. I think Roman's going through a table as well before all this ends. I don't even think it's going to be a pinfall win. I think it could probably be a scurry finish at the end, or possibly like a double count out of some sort. So.
Well, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward, and we got this comment here in the chat room. The tag titles, to me, that's not going to change anything. I do not think Solo's winning. And Mr. Anderson sent in a $2 super chat, says, does Roman Reigns help Cody? Your thoughts? Does Roman's return help Cody? I think so. I think what's going to happen is you're going to have the bloodline interference, and Cody's going to be in trouble. But then, and this is something that we talked about a couple weeks ago, I think this is what's going to happen. Mr. Anderson sent in another $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, do we hear Paul Heyman, ladies and gentlemen? I think that's what we're going to hear to set up the pop for Roman Reigns. You're going to hear, ladies and gentlemen, and then he comes out, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm here to introduce the return of the real tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And then the place is going to absolutely explode for Roman coming out there. That's the heater to set up Roman Reigns coming back, and he's going to destroy the bloodline, and Cody will get the win over Solo. That's what I think is going to happen. Big G, I'll throw it over to you now. Maybe you got a different opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I am kind of buying Solo, not really as a threat, but like he's getting there, but not quite there. And again, I don't know. Like Cody winning the title at Mania was awesome. I was there in person, and I don't know. With Roman Reigns not being on SmackDown, I don't want to say it's been lackluster. I just haven't been feeling it as much. But with this match, I'm going to go with Cody retaining here. You know, like I said, he won the title at Mania. He needs to have a decent run with this for at least a couple more months, even up to a year. And I do see Roman coming back at this show as well.
Yeah, and see, they teased it so heavily on TV too with Solo in the promos. He's blatantly mentioning Roman Reigns and saying, "If you got a problem with me as tribal chief, come do something about it."
I feel like Jimmy Uso is going to cross the bloodline on Saturday or on Friday.
You could be right on that. Maybe.
Yeah, because like you said, you don't want, this is like out of the blue, but you don't want DIY losing the titles out there. They just want it. So
that is something they could do for SmackDown. Matthew, we'll throw it over to you now and get your thoughts on this. Solo doesn't actually have the best win-loss record, unfortunately. I felt like they should have kept him better protected in the early part of the year. What do you think?
I'm with Big G. Solo isn't winning. I think this is going to really pick up Friday. I think Jimmy's going to return and cost the bloodline, which is going to lead into the main event, which the only reason this is going to be the main event is because Roman is returning. But yeah, Cody will win. I think there'll be a big brawl. Cody will look outnumbered. We'll get probably Orton back, KO back, Jimmy back. Maybe this is where they also bring Hikuleo in for the new bloodline side. And then just when it looks like the numbered game is still on the heel side, you'll hear, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And in the pop, when Roman Reigns' music hits. But yeah, Solo isn't winning. And I think this is going to lead to Cody winning and then probably moving on to eventually Orton turning on Cody at some point because they've been teasing that for a while. But yeah, Cody's winning, Roman's returning.
All right, thank you for that. And now, Greg, we'll throw it over to you, and then we'll get to our final match. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking back and forth about this, and if it wasn't for Cody being Cody and how he won and the struggle of trying to finish the story, etc., I would have been like, do you know what? Even though he's had a horrific year and doesn't win matches anymore, I would have given it to Solo just for him to win, just for Reigns to come back and be like face to face with him and be like, you've got my property, just to sort of start up the whole. It would just be good. And the only thing is, they've got up Solo so bad that it makes no sense for him to come even close. I think he might dominate the match. Like, we might see him dominate majority of the match on Saturday, and obviously tease that Cody's struggling or it looks like he won't overcome it. I'm sure the commentators will be making it look like he's struggling. And then, yeah, the Bloodline will get involved. You'll have all the... It might be as crazy as the end of WrestleMania, or have all the people coming in, all the different, not the OG Bloodline, the other, but bootleg Bloodline. And then eventually, yeah, you're right. With I was thinking Cody was going to retain, and then at the end he was going to get beaten up by all of the Bloodline, but then for Reigns to come out and return. But I think I like the fact that, I don't know, does it put too much on Cody if he does get help from Reigns? But I don't know. Do we get help from Owens or Orton? Because why are they going to get taken out for them not to come back and at least try to help Cody in some way? So I do think Reigns is coming back. This match is going to main event. So yeah, Cody to retain, and we will get that, ladies and gentlemen. Reigns will come back looking jacked, new shirt, ready to maybe have like original Bloodline or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get Jimmy, but I'd like him to build up that OG Bloodline again. I'd like him to sort of maybe even try and go and get Jay or something, or I don't know, because obviously I think we're looking further down the line. We're looking at that Survivor Series War Games match, aren't we? Really, that's what we're all looking forward to.
Yeah.
But if Reigns, as BG, if Reigns doesn't come back at SummerSlam, he misses the. They're not going to have him just randomly show up on a SmackDown, or even not at the Bash, not at like the next couple of pay-per-views. So I think it's got to be Saturday. And as you said, Solo has been teasing it with the "come take this from me" and "come say it to my face." So I think Reigns will do that on Saturday. He'll say it to his face, and yeah, we're going to see the start of hopefully the next few months.
Sounds good, Greg. Thank you for that. And I know it's not the main event, but we're talking about this last because as far as I'm concerned, this is the match that has the most anticipation, the most hype, the best storyline build. We got CM Punk coming back from his injury, going up against Drew McIntyre with special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins. Now, I think there's a reason Seth Rollins is in this match. I feel like it's done so whoever wins will have an out, or whoever loses will have an out. The winner will perhaps get the victory in controversial fashion, and then the loser can blame Seth Rollins for whatever happens. That's what I think, at least. Some people feel like Seth Rollins being added is not necessary for this match, and it's too much. Seth Rollins doesn't really fit in. I've seen different opinions on it. So let's get everyone's thoughts on this. How does this play out? Like, can either guy really afford to lose? Drew McIntyre's lost several times. CM Punk is coming back. Hopefully, Punk doesn't get hurt in this match. So let's get everyone's opinions on this one. Matthew, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, like's been said in the chat, and I agree, this should be the main event. If we didn't have an inkling that Roman was returning, I don't care if this isn't for a title. This is the money match. This is the biggest match of the summer and probably the rest of 2024. I know the big concern is if Punk will be healthy and can stay healthy, but I also agree that this is going to turn out to be something like SummerSlam 97. Drew is going to win thanks to Seth interfering in some way and costing Punk either by accident or on purpose. I think Punk can afford the loss more than Drew does, because Drew's been screwed over so many times. This will give Drew some sort of vindication, and I think it will also lead to a probably Bash at Berlin. We'll probably get Punk versus Seth, and then we'll pivot back to Drew and Punk one-on-one at Bad Blood in Money in the Bank, kind of playing full circle to the whole 97 storyline between Seth Taker and Brett. But yeah, Drew needs this win, and he's gonna win, and it's gonna be thanks to Seth, but it's gonna make Drew even more crazy because he's gonna taunt that he won by any means necessary.
Well said there, Matthew. Thank you for that. And Big G, we'll throw it over to you now with your thoughts.
Yeah, this, like Matthew said, if we knew that Roman probably wasn't returning, this definitely should have been the main event. God, I don't really know, because like both men really need the win here. Drew's lost the past couple matches. Well, I mean, he did technically win at Mania, but then lost the title, and then he lost the past couple matches too. Seth's coming back from an injury. You got the factor of Seth Rollins in there. God. I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm gonna go McIntyre wins because of Seth Rollins screwing over CM Punk, but on accident, not on purpose.
All right, there you have it. Thank you for that. So that would be like SummerSlam 97, where Shawn Michaels meant to hit Brett with the chair, but hit Undertaker instead.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's what happens, an accident, and that furthers the conflict. Remember, Seth Rollins and CM Punk was the original WrestleMania direction, so they could get back to that.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so Greg, we'll throw it over to you now with your thoughts.
Yeah, this was a tricky one. This was probably the hardest one for me to predict. Like, obviously, I'm a massive Punk fan, so of course I'm wanting Punk to do well and obviously win, or just at least not get injured. That would be a great start. I know people are saying this should be the main event and everything, but you got to remember, 10 years ago now was it, or was it 11, when it was Punk Lesnar and Cena Bryan, and you had that big massive double main event. And obviously they did the Bryan Cena thing because obviously Bryan got cost by by Triple H, right, with the belt. Orton cashed in.
Yep.
So I understand why they're doing the main event when it's going to be Cody, and because if your biggest star, aka Reigns, is back, it's got to be so.
Yeah.
But this match should be a great appetizer for it. This should be. I'm hoping it's great. I'm hoping McIntyre and Punk have some great chemistry. And I understand what people have been saying about SummerSlam '97. And if Steph is going to hit anyone to cost someone their match and inadvertently help someone win, he's going to hit he's going to try to hit Punk, miss Punk, hit McIntyre, and have Punk win. So Punk can do the whole, you went for me, you missed me, you gave McIntyre a win, you were trying to hit me. Because Seth hates Punk more. So, but for me, I'm thinking Seth, for some reason, he helps McIntyre, or he accidentally gets Punk and helps McIntyre, but then he tries to act like it was an accident when he actually meant to do it. So then we can restart the whole Punk and Seth situation, because I think that's going to come round, hopefully. I think Punk will get his revenge over McIntyre at some point, but eventually Punk and Seth will come round at Bad Blood. That's going to be the Hell in a Cell match, I think. Because I think that was, obviously, as Aaron said, that was the WrestleMania match in the first place. Seth could build into that and just be like, I was meant to be beating you at WrestleMania. I would have kept the belt because I would have had an easier match by beating you and not McIntyre, etc. and all that. So they'll come back around and they'll have the match at Bad Blood. But I'm going for a McIntyre win because I think it's better as the so-called heel wins from an accidental situation with the ref, because Seth's got to get involved somehow. And I don't know if he helps Punk. I don't know how that works out. I think it's better if Punk keeps trying to chase this win against McIntyre, and McIntyre gets the big win that he's probably been due for a
Yeah.
couple months now.
Yeah, he is definitely overdue. Mr. Tito sent in a $2 super chat, says, hey, what happened at SummerSlam 97 again? Well, Steve Austin got dumped on his head by Owen Hart. Ken Shamrock snapped after having to have dog food shoved in his face by the British Bulldog. And then didn't Dude Love jump off the top of the cage onto Hunter Hearst Helmsley, from what I recall?
Mankind did, and then Dude Love reappeared when he was on the floor.
There you go. And I think that might have been Todd Pettengill's last SummerSlam appearance, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a little bit of trivia. There you go, Mr. Tito. There's some of the stuff that happened at SummerSlam 97. Now we'll throw it over to Dwayne Atkinson. Dwayne, I want to make it clear, I do think Solo and Cody is going on last. And here's a clue. If that match does not go on last, I think that's a giveaway that Roman is not showing up. Roman closing out the show is what I expect to happen. And Mr. Anderson says, any chance Seth ends the match in a double count out? Thank you for the super chat. I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, that's always a possibility. I think it's too cheap, though. I think you need to build up drama. Like Seth counting them both out kind of takes the heat away from anybody and just makes it all about Seth. And this match really shouldn't be about Seth. It should be about Punk and McIntyre. And you can do something to build up heat for Punk and Rollins. But, yeah, I'm not the big fan of that idea. Dwayne, what do you think?
Quite frankly, since Triple H has been running things, we haven't had any DQs or countouts on pay-per-views, have we not?
Not too many.
Not too many, no.
Again, this is another rivalry. I don't think it's going to end at SummerSlam. It's going to keep going. I think possibly as much as Bash in Berlin, we could get a triple threat match with these three guys. I won't be surprised if he keeps it clean all the way toward the end, and then Seth turns on Drew and Punk. Quite frankly, I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but as far as this going, I got to go with McIntyre to win. He's been screwed too many times by Punk, and I don't think there's ever been a storyline where a person constantly keeps getting screwed for the title and winds up losing in the very end. So, I mean, just simple logic to me, that's how it's going to play. So I'm going with McIntyre to win.
There you have it. And TJS, we'll finish it off with you. Go ahead.
Wow. Has anyone gone with Punk here? Really?
Yeah.
Nope.
Wow. I'm going with Punk.
I wanted to, but my gut says McIntyre.
Yeah. I'm going with Punk, and here's the reason. Remember the bracelet. Oh, not this. Remember the bracelet that McIntyre stole from Punk. I think Punk has to win and take the bracelet back, because if Punk win or if McIntyre wins, how do you set it? Well, I guess the out is Seth screwed.
Lord
I
Jesus.
I guess the out for Punk losing would be Seth screwed me. Seth
screwed you.
Seth screwed Punk. I guess you could say that, but I don't think that it's very babyface of Punk to complain about that. So I think Punk wins, and I think Seth will probably do the thing where he'll maybe shove both guys, and then they'll get in his face, and he'll point to the ref shirt, like, if you hit me, I'm going to disqualify you, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think Punk is winning. And I'm very nervous about this match, because I don't want Punk to get hurt again, but I'm terrified that it's going to happen. So, yeah. Punk wins. And then they have the rematch at the next show, which is next is Bash at Berlin, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think Drew would win that. And then after that, they have the Hell in a Cell match that you guys mentioned at Bad Blood. So yeah, and it's SummerSlam, so maybe they want to send. I know this isn't main eventing, but people will be happy if Punk wins. So yeah, I think Punk wins, and yeah.
I'm going with Drew McIntyre to win here. Seth Rollins is going to screw Punk, whether it's inadvertent or not. I don't know, but I expect shenanigans, and maybe we'll get bad blood. But I feel like they're going to shift over to Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, and that's why I don't think it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Gunther at Berlin. Going back to earlier, I think that Dragunov seems to be a more likely candidate, and Rollins is going to be involved with Punk, and maybe they do a triple threat at Bash in Berlin with Punk, McIntyre, and Rollins, and then maybe that'll set up a singles match with Punk and McIntyre, Punk and Rollins at Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell. I expect something along those lines. I would not be shocked to see a triple threat, but I do think McIntyre is winning after getting screwed time after time. I think he needs to win more. Punk can recover from this, and like I said, hopefully Punk doesn't get hurt. We're all rooting for him that he doesn't suffer another injury. I mean, is that the end of Punk if he gets hurt again? First match back on pay-per-view. I mean, is that the end for CM Punk? I mean,
go to commentary then.
Yeah, commentary.
I'm nervous. I really
am. Me too. I'm legit scared for the guy, but hopefully he's good.
Yeah,
and he can pull it off, and he's got a bit more time left, have another solid year or two before he wraps up his career. So looking forward to it. SummerSlam should be a hell of a show. Thank you guys for being on the panel. Like I mentioned earlier, it's an honor to have you guys on. Much love to everyone watching. Let's go ahead and do any plugs. We'll start off with Matthew. Thank you as always. Matthew, anything you would like to plug or promote?
Not really. Just, as always, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. Check out No DQ, the review. Check out, your Q&A sessions and everything else. And, of course, the website. And, I'm excited for this weekend. And I look forward to, the next predictions and panels and everything else.
All right. Thank you for that, Matthew. Dwayne, anything you would like to promote?
Yeah, as of now, you can follow me on Twitter at it's me, the new Big D. No, all jokes aside, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Aaron. You pretty much find me now on Aaron's prediction shows as always. Thanks again for having me, man. It's a blast every time coming on here with you guys. So thanks again. I hope everybody enjoys SummerSlam.
All right, and Greg, thank you for staying on late with us. You had a good time, I could tell. Anything you would like to promote?
Oh boy, what a night! But yeah, it's been great fun, guys. Sorry about being on out of control at times, but that's TGS, man. My God, stop now. But I'm big baller tonight. Oh my God! But yeah, thanks. I'm hoping I can be on for 300. If possible, and then for the review in like 2 weeks, because it's like my birthday in a couple of weeks, I think, during the review. So it'd be pretty cool to like crash that at some stage. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Should be a good night on Saturday, and yeah, until next time, guys.
All right, TJS, go ahead.
Oh, well, you can follow me on X at TYLRJSPHSMTH. And yeah, it was fun being here. Always look forward to these shows. Triple H is, giving us a lot of shows pretty close together, and I'm completely fine with it. I'm happy that we got a Saturday show. Should be fun. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned. I don't think, Aaron, are you doing anything like a stream on Thursday or no?
No.
No Q&A? No DQ?
Nope.
No. Wow. Okay. Well, that's it for me. Thanks, guys.
All right, and we'll move it over to Big D, Big G, Jeff, whatever you want to call him. He goes by many names. He's a man of many talents, so I've heard. Big G, go ahead and give us your plugs.
Yeah. So if you're a cat person, if you love cats, You can go to YouTube, Harley and Joker 2021. I got a whole bunch of cat videos up there. I've got to upload one from SummerSlam a couple of years ago where Harley and Joker are wrestling literally during Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar match. They decided to wrestle. You can follow me on X, Twix, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it, at NoDQ_BigBiology. TikTok, BigBiology1988, and on Insta, NoDQ_BigBiology1988.
All right, and NoDQ.com will have live coverage of WWE SummerSlam this weekend, so make sure you guys check it out. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Take care, be safe, say yes to NoDQ, and we will see you all next time.